Oh, I've loaded the STL into Recreate, and the first thing I'm going to do is to run an optimize operation. So I've got the settings like so, and we'll just let that run. Okay, that's done. And you can see we've reduced the triangles. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is run a smoothing pass. Just have 2 on the entire body. It's going to make it easier for us to select the whole region of the body that we're after. Okay, so now I'm going to split mesh faces. I'm going to use angular deviation, hover over, and get the feedback. So we want to make sure we get everything, but not that top bit. So that looks about right to me. And you can see where we get the splits. Don't worry about the holes, we can fill that in. And that looks okay. So we can hide the bits we don't want. So we obviously want to keep the main body. So we hide the bits that we do want. I'll hold down the control and get rid of that. And then we can just delete all these fragments. Quite easy. Right, so then we've got everything here. So if I just create a new node and select my main body, drag that onto my new mode, I can hide everything here. Okay, so what I need to do is fill holes. So we'll go fill gaps. So we basically need to fill everything but a couple of things. So if I say select all, I'm going to remove these guys at the side and this main hole and fill everything else. Okay, so we get results like so, and that's okay. I want to extract these cylinders at the side with some wireframe, it's just easier. So we'll go circle from 3 elements, select the points. 1, oh, I've done that wrong. 2, 3. There's our wireframe. Do a bit better on the other side. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'll put that on the top layer, I don't need it now. So now I can fill those holes as well. So fill gaps. And we'll select those holes to fill. Okay. So what I want to do now is do a little refine. And then I'll do a smoothing pass. And then I can do a couple of more focused smooths as well. So smooth out the whole body ever so slightly, and you can see we've got not the best hole filling here, and that's something I'm going to investigate. But let's just select these regions at the bottom and smooth that out a little bit more. Okay. I'll do the same with this top bit. So I'll say visible elements. I would just say all of these top triangles. Okay, and we'll do the back as well because we've got this ribbed feature type thing, which I don't know if it is wanted or not. So I'll just smooth out that region. If I turn on the multi-select, we've got toggle set as the method. So I'll be able to deselect the middle triangles in a second. Like that. Perfect. Okay, so we're now probably in a position where we can start doing some grid creation. So in order to do that, I'm going to create a wireframe line down here, and I want to sort of go to the bottom middle of that bit there. And I'm doing that because this orientation doesn't cut well through the part. So I'll extend and turn that into a surface by doing an extrude along the X. Okay. And now I can just snap a work plane to it with the orientation normal. So if I hold down the shift key, I can snap there. Now we've got the Z normal to that surface. We know that because we've got regions created, which we can turn off. All right, so now I'm not actually that bothered about that. I want to use that work plane to create a grid on my mesh. The defaults are fine. And then I can project these elements, imprinting in a Z direction into my mesh. Okay, so I've got that. And now I just want to project that guy into my mesh, but along the X direction. Okay, so that gives me a cut down there. Okay, so now I'm going to say mesh to surface. I'm going to use 0.03, unite, and select my mesh, and I'll let that calculate. Okay, so that gives us 506 surfaces on 506 mesh faces united into one. Okay, and that is looking, yeah, it's looking pretty good. Okay, so we'll hide the mesh surface. I'm going to bring that first layer back, and I'm going to create a cylinder from mesh. I'm going to use the triangles. Yep, so we can create that. We can do a radius or not, extension or not. We could fit that to be, you know, a more round number, or just leave it as it is for the purpose of this. I decided that I was going to do an extension at the bottom instead. That'll do. So now I can hide the mesh and do some trimming. if I trim this to this face, I get that result. I can trim that face to that edge, and then I can sew sheets by joining those together. Okay. That's going to show me any gaps as well. Increase the tolerance slightly. Should remove any gaps. Okay, so we can add a blend. We use tangent edges and we'll increase the angular deviation. I don't know, just making up some numbers now. 2 mil round there, and then I'm going to use my wireframe that I created in the first instance to create a surface. Single edge. Sorry. Yes. Okay, cool. So create a surface. Yeah, created it there. I don't actually need that. Delete it. Yeah, so I can hide that wireframe as well. And I'll do an extend on both ends. Then I will bring back my body. I can delete that. And we'll say cut bodies. Yeah, I've cut that out, so that's good. Don't need that anymore. And now we're going to extract these guys at the bottom. Sorry about that tree. It's got a mind of its own. So triangles. Yep, so now I've got those guys. I want to make sure we can see inside my pot. Oh yeah, maybe I could have made those a bit bigger. So just extend one end. Like that. Okay, so I'm going to thicken these. I'm probably all right. So offset. Turn those into solids. That's really nice. And then I'm going to use my cut bodies again. So hide those. We'll say, I think I can just Boolean those ones together actually. Boolean. Yeah. And these ones need trimming, so I will just do a cut bodies, cut that, select faces. Select all the relevant faces. Yeah. And now I can Boolean. I'll do this last one over here. Cut bodies. That one. I need to cut it with faces. And it's easier if I just hide that body because I've got some small faces in there, you see. Oops. Which is very hard to see when the body's there. Yeah. So got a good result there. And I'm just gonna Boolean. Okay, now to finalize that, I need to make the whole. So I'm going to extract face, remove face, and say remove. Oh, I need to extract rather than remove. And I'll go back in and create those as well. I've removed trimming. And I'll make them green. So then I'm going to go surfaces, extend, select by colors and style. I can pick a face and then say, oops, select by colors and style. Select those and extend. So now I just need to cut bodies. That gives me the inside. Okay, so if you want to see what you're doing, you can always use the dynamic section. Oh, sorry. So cut bodies. This body with this face. You'll see that bit turns like this now. This body with this face. All right, now I can get rid of those faces. Interested in my body, and I can do some blends. So I think I'll do, I need to get tangent edges. These are on the inside, so it really doesn't matter actually. We'll do it anyway. And then we'll put some blends on the outside, a smaller blend, which reflects the original STL that you gave me. Righty ho, and there we have it. Fully reverse engineered using Recreate, and it's looking pretty nice.